Welcome to the fifth episode of The Two Point Turn, a podcast talking about food, entertainment, and sports. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, specifically what what we each think are the top five movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I myself am not a huge fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think it's a bit overrated, but a lot of people are. And it's very popular nowadays. So we're just going to do our top five. You ready?
Yep.
All right. Do you want to go first?
Okay, so we're gonna go. We're both gonna give our five, then our four, then our three. So we're not gonna give our own list entirely and in one go.
Yep.
So I'm gonna start off with number five, and at number five, I'm gonna put Iron Man 3. Now, Iron Man 3, I don't know if you've watched the movie. Now, I feel recently a lot of the movies have gotten quite a bit better because of uh because of how many characters they can add as they've, gotten older and made more movies. They have more characters that they can draw from. So it started off, and now Iron Man 3 is interesting because it has really only two characters from the movie that actually matter. So the villain, he ends up dying. Iron Man is obviously there, Rhodey's there, but he doesn't have a big role. So I don't know, he's like a side character at best. But in terms of single person movies, I'd say this one is probably the best like single person movie. It had a bunch of funny scenes thrown in there, had a decently compelling plot. Again, this isn't number one for a reason, and yeah, I feel like the lack of like multiple characters and it being earlier on and through their movie progression sort of sets it back. But other than that, it's pretty good. So number five.
Okay, so I hear what you're saying, and my number five is actually very close to yours. It's Iron Man 2. Yeah, I've seen Iron Man 3. I think it's not a bad film at all. I think it's a pretty good single film. I liked Iron Man 2 a bit because I really liked the plot of how Stark had to divulge the secrets of his armored suit, and I really like the Rhodes. I liked his role a lot. But I think Iron Man 3 and 2 are both pretty good movies. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to your number four.
So my number four would probably be let me why don't you go with your number four quickly?
Okay, sure. So for number four, I'm gonna put one of the newer ones, Spider-Man: Homecoming. I am a fan of Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I don't think he was as good as Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield, but I think for one of his biggest roles in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Spider-Man: Homecoming is a pretty decent film. My favorite character has to be Ned, of course. You gotta love Ned. He's great. I like the plot. It's not too complicated. I like Donald Glover. I think the film is decent. It's definitely not the best film I've seen in the MCU, but I think it is a pretty good film for number four.
Okay. So for my number four, I'm gonna go with Captain America Civil War. And Captain America Civil War is in that spot because it uh I'm gonna put Captain America Civil War there because, as I said, it's one of those movies that had so many characters in it, so it was fun. Not all of them played again a big role, but there's just so many, and I love like like the fighting and like how they all split amongst each other, and that was a nice thing. They had like a bunch of like good scenes here and there, like that. I think that was Tom Holland's best movie, his appearance, because it wasn't completely focused on him, so he'd have like crisp, short lines, and all of them were perfect lines. Like all were hilarious and amazing.
I
Not like
have
the other movies where, again, he
homework.
just had so many more lines that they weren't all that fun.
I have homework.
What? Oh yeah, but when he was recruiting him,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
See, all those lines were like almost iconic level of funny. So like, and then he didn't have any lines like that in the solo movies because he had so many lines.
Yeah, so Captain America Civil War will come up later in my in my list. I'm not going to reveal just where it is, but yeah, I like the movie a lot, and I'll explain that a bit more later.
I don't even like really remember the plot at this point, and that's like if it's not that memorable, then like if I forgot it, it can't be that memorable.
Okay, okay, sure. So at number three, I'm gonna have to put Ant-Man and the Wasp. And now listen, this is
Come
like
on.
definitely one of the most underrated films in the MCU. I l- I like Paul Rudd,
We've seen
and
this movie together.
yeah, we saw this movie together. Yeah, so man, I think it's really one of the underrated ones.
No way.
Really?
Come
It
on.
was
Like
it was
this shouldn't even be an honorable mention.
it's not very nice.
Okay. Again, it's your opinion. I'm not gonna tank it from my beliefs. Okay, I'm gonna give my number three, and that's gonna be Thor Ragnarok. So, uh, Thor Ragnarok was a movie I felt it's kind of had it all. So it had the struggle, and it had like a good character. It had like a nice like comeback to the thing, and it was pretty funny along the way. And as far as single character movies go, this wasn't quite single character because there were like a bunch of main characters, more than you would expect in like a more than you would see in like a true single person thing, because they had Loki, they had uh, Hulk, they had a bunch of people. It wasn't truly a single person thing. And yeah, I'm just gonna go with uh, Thor Ragnarok. Again, I'm not too logical here. I just like the movie a lot.
Yeah, so Thor Ragnarok is definitely one of the best rated movies, and many people do say it's definitely one of the best movies. But for me, it goes somewhere in the middle. I've never really seen to have this huge connection with Thor Ragnarok.
So then I'm gonna go on to number two, and for number two, I'm gonna put in Black Panther. Now, I feel this movie, from like if you looked at it as like a tagline or like the trailer or something, it has tremendous potential to fail, where it looks like a an attempt to like add like a diversity type thing, just like so Marvel could like check off a quota or something. And given like that knowing that that could happen, and when I watched the movie I was so pleasantly like surprised. I didn't think it would be like a blatant thing where you just do it for like diversity. I thought it would be a decent movie at the least. It was truly magnificent, where all these where you had like the whole African thing in Wakanda and all that, and then you had Michael B. Jordan come in, and he was just insanely hilarious, and the whole American aspect he brought. Like at the end when he didn't die, he comes up and he's like, "As you can see, I'm not dead, so that the fight must go on," or something like that. And he was like, "All that challenge stuff is over with," and it was just like so many things going on in that film, and I don't know. I found it really nice.
So first of all, I am very glad that Black Panther did not get released in 2021 because if it got released in 2021, it would have been a lot worse with the whole cancel culture thing, and most people would think it's just a diversity thing, like you were saying.
Cultural appropriation.
Exactly, exactly. So here's the thing. I never really liked the setting shift a lot from America to Wakanda. I wasn't ever a huge fan. I think the acting was phenomenal from Chadwick Boseman and Michael B. Jordan.
And the
Michael B.
sister in that,
Yeah, and the
the
sister.
leader of the leader of the tribe thing. Not the tribe thing. What is it called? The Dora something. The fighting force.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not a bad movie, but it was a little bit complicated, and I kind of wish I had seen him in a couple movies uh before Black Panther. I know he was in a few, but just not enough.
He was in the Civil War, I
He
think.
was in Civil War, yes. Okay.
But to be fair, it's not like Spider-Man was in any. He made his like debut in that one, and then got
Yeah,
his
but
own few
Spider-Man was
movies.
a very popular character before the MCU. There was plenty of
Oh
Spider-Man to
yes,
go
you're right.
around.
You're right. This guy was just brought up like no one knew who Black
Yeah.
Panther was before the movie.
hmm hmm
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so number two spot. I'm gonna have to go with Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay, so I know I said I didn't like the whole shift from America to Wakanda. I somehow did like the shift with um Star Lord and Rocket and Groot, Gamora, everybody. I did like it a lot. I liked how um their like different personalities came
Yeah,
together.
the makeup of that team,
Yeah,
the makeup of that team was so like you had like the
it
faux
was
tough
very
guy,
weird. Yeah,
you had Rocket who was just like there. I think Groot is overrated. Everyone just loves him, but yeah, I guess he's there. Like he's a good joke, good meme sometimes. Gamora and Peter were there, and then I think the final one. Actually, no, that girl wasn't there. Like the one who could like sense what you're thinking. She wasn't there at that time, right? She came in the second one.
yeah. Who are you talking about
Whatever
exactly?
her name was, the one who could like sense what you were thinking.
Yeah, I don't think she was in the first one. Yeah, but yeah, the second one, the Guardians of the Galaxy 2, was actually a really good sequel. Also, it was one of the funniest MCU movies I've definitely seen. Definitely
So
one of the funniest
I
ones.
think it probably was funny, but it just wasn't. It was definitely funny. Like they had the prison break scene that was nice,
That was
but
amazing.
I feel it just wasn't. The plot or whatever. Actually, the plot, like the ending was nice and the scene they had and all those things, but I don't know. I just kind of lost interest for it as time went on.
Okay.
I feel maybe if I would have known, like if I would have watched this movie after watching a lot of the others, I would have liked it more. But I don't know. I just don't like it that much.
Okay. So
So,
before we hit number one, did you want to do an honorable mention?
so I was gonna say Doctor Strange initially, but I really didn't like the whole magic thing and like different dimensions and portals and all that. I didn't like that. I wanted to say Endgame, but that would be like a boring answer because again, I didn't. The movie was kind. It wasn't boring. Like it was boring in the middle, like in the beginning, and then around the halfway point to like the three fourths point, it was a little interesting with the time travel stuff, and then the fight was nice, but it was just like a your average cliche fight where they start up losing, then they show some tremendous heart, and then they
Yeah.
do something great. But okay,
Endgame was
so
very overrated. Endgame was very
no,
overrated.
it wasn't very overrated because it had a lot of hype, but then it failed to deliver on the hype, and a lot of people
Exactly.
were quick to point out, okay, it didn't deliver the hype. They didn't make it overrated. An overrated movie is one that like everyone thinks was truly amazing and magnificent, but you don't think it is. So to me, like an overrated thing would be the Spider-Man Homecoming. Now, I'm not gonna say it's a bad movie. That'll be a stretch, but it was good, but it wasn't like amazing as a lot of people would say it is.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
What are your honorable mentions?
My honorable mention is what is it called? Avengers Age of Ultron. I
How
like
was
it.
it?
I like it when you can see all of the personalities together. Like I like Guardians of the Galaxy and I like Avengers Age of Ultron because you were able to like get mixture of a lot of different characters.
Yeah, I like that, and I liked it was like a really practical thing, sort of the opposite of Doctor Strange, where it was just all like magic and timelines and confusing stuff. Something like artificial intelligence is like a very prominent thing in our daily lives now, so it's really relatable in that terms, in that term. And okay, if I had to give a one true honorable mention, it probably would be Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
That's a pretty good movie. I mean, all of
Now
the Captain
again,
America movies are good.
even the first one was quite nice.
Yeah, yeah.
I like the World War II type touch and all that. Oh, okay, but anyways, the reason Winter Soldier would be my honorable mention is because it had a few characters and it wasn't just showcasing one, and it had a reasonably compelling plot. It had a quite a few nice scenes throughout, but again, not like a litany of scenes. But yeah, it's just a pretty solid movie all around. So,
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
so
Sure.
I think for number one, let's move on. I think we probably have the
Can I
same
guess?
movie.
Can I guess? Can I guess?
Does it start with an I?
That's what I was thinking. Yours would start with.
Oh, yours doesn't start with an I?
No, it does not.
Seriously?
It does not. I mean, sure,
What?
I could
What?
give it an honorable mention, but
Not you didn't even give it an honorable mention? Get out of your mind. What is this? Okay, what's yours?
Captain America Civil War.
Oh yeah, you said it comes later on the list.
Yes,
Okay, so
yes.
mine is Infinity War, and okay, our movies are similar, except mine is better than yours in every single way.
Okay.
Much better plot, much more characters, and there's an actual villain who's overpowered, quite literally overpowered, instead of them just fighting themselves over like a booklet.
Okay, so I remember we saw Avengers Infinity War. I think we saw it together in the same cinema at the same time. You remember?
Yeah, that means we went. That means we went together.
Yeah, we went
That's
together. Yeah,
odd to say.
that's what I meant to say. That's what I meant to say. Listen, it was nice. There was a lot of action scenes. I liked how the encounter with Tony Stark and Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, and then with Star-Lord, the whole I'm here to kill
There were just
Thanos.
so many things going on in that movie. If I had to say a masterpiece, that would be it. Because like there wasn't like an end game type thing where it was just you were just kind of bored like for any time. There was always something going on where because they were all splitting up and doing stuff. So some guys were fighting on Earth, some people were in like a specific planet. You had Thor running around with some of the Guardians. Then you had Iron Man and his guys, and it was just so many like parallel things going on. And then you had such a great thing, and then their fight scene at the end was amazing. And unlike like Endgame or the other ones, it didn't end in like a cliche type thing. It was like the bad guy also won in that. So that was kind of fun. Okay, that didn't make the movie, but it was just like an interesting twist that I appreciated.
Okay, so you are definitely making me reconsider my list a little bit. I think I probably should have put Infinity War in there somewhere.
You
Yeah,
should have put it at one.
I really should have. That's on me. That's on me. It's been so long. They all just kind of get mushed together. Mushed together.
I can get that. I've watched a lot of these movies recently. Just I don't even know why, but I have. So maybe that's why I remember them more. But yeah, again, Infinity War is the undisputed best.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it probably since I saw it in the cinema.
Oh, seriously, what you have to watch it again? No, you gotta watch it again.
Cool. Yeah, we should watch it together sometime.
How was I gonna do that? Okay,
Um,
anyways,
I
it
don't know.
doesn't matter. Maybe if you want to do another mention, do that. But I don't know. Your choice.
All right. Okay. Sure. That
All
sounds
right.
good.
Do you have
Okay.
anything else to add?
Ah, no,
All right
I do
then.
not. All right. So
Thanks for
thank you
listening
for
to
watching
this
this
episode.
week's. Okay, you go ahead. You can say it.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode, and we'll catch you next week.
Yes, and you can find all of our episodes of the Two Point Turn on all major podcasting platforms: Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Radio Cast, wherever you
Podcast.
want to go. You can find them on YouTube, find them on Spotify, find them wherever you want. Just watch them, watch all of them. They're not too long, they're not too short. So thank you for watching. Keep smiling.
Yep.